In today's video, I'm going to go through why your Facebook ads could be costing you thousands of dollars per month just based off 3 simple errors. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Will De Bruin. I co-founded an e-commerce business in 2013 with my brother. We left our corporate jobs, started from the kitchen bench, bootstrapped the entire thing, and it's gone on to do multiple 7 figures per year. And I've also helped over 200 e-commerce brands scale to record revenue months, whether it's their first 10K, 20K, all the way up to 100K per month as well through my coaching programs. So when people come into the program, what I observe most when I look at people's ad accounts, and I also did manage about 100 e-commerce brands accounts from 2020 to about 2023 with a little Facebook ads agency. There's really 3 main things that I still observe that people have incorrect. So the first one is the objective of your ads. So if you've run ads before, you'd know that you can go in and when you set up your campaign, you can actually choose the objective of the ad. Seems easy and logical enough. But what I've found through literally spending millions on ads, and again, observing other people's results as well as we help them manage their ad accounts as well, is that if you don't have the right objective set up from the beginning, you're going to struggle to get results. Let me use an example. A lot of people think it's very logical, I do too, to run a traffic campaign. And in fact, Facebook experts or Meta ads representatives, when you get on the call with them or through email, will actually say, yep, set up a traffic campaign, get some traffic to your website, and then we retarget those people and we get some cheap sales through. So some pros and cons there. Firstly, traffic campaigns lower CPMs, cost per impression, so more affordable to advertise. Good thing. But what that actually means is it goes after people with lower intent. Bad thing. So we're paying less to get more people to our site. Yes, that's true. But those people that we actually get to our site are not the relevant people that will actually buy. It sounds strange to people that, someone will click on an ad with no intent to go and purchase, but that's exactly what happens. If you start a traffic campaign and drive traffic to your site, you'll rarely actually get sales from that campaign because they're just the wrong audience. So what's the point in driving thousands of people at cheap advertising costs if they're never ever going to buy? What's the point in actually retargeting us? That's the first fundamental issue, is when we structure a campaign incorrectly from the objective. Facebook is very, very, very good. It's got 55,000 touch points on every single person's profile. It knows who the window shoppers are and the ones that actually do spend money online. So firstly, you need to get your objective to a sales objective. Okay, this is where Advantage Plus campaigns are kind of mitigating any room for error here, where you're basically doing a sales campaign and it's optimized for purchases. Okay, because even if you're in the manual standpoint, right, if you don't do traffic, you do something like sales and then add to cart, right? Like I want to kind of warm up my audience. Again, it's very, very good at getting people that will just add to cart. Okay, we've had circumstances where we've spent basically split tests and spent thousands on the sales to purchases objective and the sales to add to carts objective. And again, cheaper cost per impressions for the add to cart, cheaper clicks, a lot of add to carts, like I'm talking hundreds basically. And then I think in one circumstance, there was zero purchases from like a couple of hundred add to carts. So again, Facebook is very good at achieving its objective. Okay, it goes after people that are adding to cart and then it says, yep, tick, I've done. So I've got to go get the next person who will actually do that. Okay, whereas the top level, when they're doing purchases, its job is not done until it finds people that are actually going to purchase your product and complete the transaction. So we need to give it the proper instructions, no matter how new or seasoned your ad account is. We need to set up the objective properly. It's one of the biggest mistakes I see. And the first thing we actually change when people come in and get some advice into our community is you have to change the structure. Now let's see how your traffic campaign compared to your sales to purchase campaign or an Advantage Plus, as I said before, to mitigate any margin for error there. So first thing is campaign structure, the correct objective. The second thing is the bottom of funnel. Okay, not enough people kind of understand what this is, and it's only just through the confusing mechanism and I'd say lack of experience that people haven't understood it yet. But let me explain it. So the bottom of funnel is our retargeting audience. So people that know us, have engaged with us before, we want to send ads to them on the various platforms that Meta's associated with. Okay, so that's what that actually means. That's the bottom of the funnel. You've got the top of funnel, meaning cold audiences, middle of funnel is kind of in the middle there, but then the bottom of funnel is our warmest engaged audience. So a common mistake that people make when they set up a bottom of funnel audience is mixing audiences together. It might be a lookalike audience, it might be some sort of interest-based audience, and then they put it in with your technical bottom of funnel retargeting audience. So let me explain what that actually is. We define it as those that have engaged with your Instagram page, your Facebook page, and your website over the last 30 days. But you can use any time period you like there. If you've got higher volume of traffic, you can do it to 14 days or 7 days. You can almost have like a retargeting stack is what we've used before. So what we do want to do is keep the audiences concise in their own bubble, basically. Okay, we don't want to mix in cold audiences with our warm audiences. So what we need to actually do there, create custom audiences. Now you basically have to set up a manual campaign here, use the objective of sales, and then the conversion event as purchase. Okay, again, we're going for that far right or the desirable outcome. Then what you need to do is in the custom audience section, create it for having engaged with our Facebook page over the last 30 days, have engaged with our Instagram page the last 30 days, and website visitors the last 30 days. That's all you need in there. You're welcome to put in your database, for example. That's going to be a warm audience for sure, but you don't want to put any lookalikes, you don't want to put any interest-based. Okay, we need to really consolidate what that retargeting audience is, because if we do put in those bigger audiences, it's likely that Facebook will go and spend it on those cold audiences, and we don't know what's what when it comes to who it's targeting and what's actually getting the results. Okay, so that really needs to be really well defined. You need to have your bottom of funnel audience actually targeting your bottom of funnel, nothing more. Okay, and you may get recommendations and errors and like blend this, blend that from Facebook, but you just have to ignore what that is. Okay, so that's the second thing, is the structure of our retargeting or our bottom of funnel campaigns. Right, the third thing is around our budget. So with the bottom of funnel, because we've got a small, concise custom audience, smaller than what it would be on a cold audience level, we don't need to spend as much. Okay, so where people come in and they're spending $20 or $30 or $40 a day on retargeting bottom of funnel, firstly, they have to do that because they're going outside of the custom audience, right? That's just like basically running cold audience ads. But secondly, they could be just completely overspending and the frequency is way too high. So what the frequency actually means is how many times in a week someone is seeing that ad, right? So you might go to the frequency section in your columns. You might see 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. I've seen as high as 20 or 30 sometimes because the budget's too high, right? It's going after people way too often. Now, I always say that there's never a problem with any of the metrics if we're getting the sales, we're getting the results. If your cost per purchase is within your KPI, then there's nothing wrong with anything else. I don't care if the frequency is 30 or 40 or 50, okay? But where the frequency is 30 or 40 or 50 and you're spending way too much and not getting the results, we need to peg the budget back, right? So with a bottom of funnel, I would typically say if you're doing less than 20, 30, 40, 50K a month in total revenue, you don't need to have more than sort of like $10 or $15 a day on your bottom of funnel audience, okay? It should be an 80-20 split or even a 90-10 split between your top of funnel budget, meaning cold audiences, new audiences, and your bottom of funnel. So, all right, they're the two most important campaigns. Don't even worry about the middle of funnel until you're doing over 100K, okay? Because the middle of funnel basically means they knew you, they saw you, but they haven't been engaged for the last 30, 60, 90 days. They know you're there, but they're not interested anymore, okay? You'd basically hit them up with emails more than you would with middle of funnel ads, okay? So that's the third thing. With the budget, we need to make sure that it's not over-serving people because they will get annoyed. They may, block some spam, they may whatever, but more to the point, we don't want to waste more budget than necessary to retarget people. So again, to know that you're spending too much, your frequency is way too high and you're just not getting the sales through. So you can peg it back. I would even say peg it back by half, see what happens over 7 to 10 days, and then look at the results from there. Same thing, 7 to 10 days, and see how it goes from there, right? But the three really important things here, just to wrap that up, is the structure, meaning your objective of your campaign needs to be the purchase to sales conversion event. Okay, to mitigate any issues there, obviously go to your Advantage Plus campaign setup. The second thing is the bottom of funnel structure. Don't mix with cold audiences. Don't mix with lookalikes. It's just purely your custom audience for retargeting. And the third thing is the budget with the retargeting. You need to have it small enough that it's going to not waste dollars, but big enough that you're going to get some sort of frequency to be able to continue to be in front of people's faces and obviously serve more impressions. So they're the three biggest mistakes and the three biggest lessons that you can take to get way better results with your Facebook ads. As I say, these are the three most common mistakes that I actually see people make if they're running their own ads particularly. That's basically it. That's kind of a wrap up from there. If you like what you see, if you obviously want help with your e-commerce business, I've got a link below that you can actually check out. It's, you don't have to click on anything like that, but basically if you want help, it goes to a bit of an idea of what we actually do and how we help e-commerce businesses. As I said, scale to that first 10K all the way up to 100K per month with our Ecom Blueprint program. You can have a bit of a look through there. It just goes through the whole thing. As I say, you don't have to, there's no pressure to do anything like that. But if you want more information about growing, you can obviously go and do that. But other than that, I really hope this video was valuable. If it was, like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything you want to know from an e-commerce perspective, I'm going to be making a lot more of these videos. But other than that, I genuinely thank you for being here and hope you got the value once again. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, cheers.